again. Daily, I guess it's just midweek videos. I don't even know. We are back. What's going on today? What is going on for me today? Similar thing, woke up, stressed to the fucking gills. Have no money, have a pretty good amount of debt. Negative money, no income, no job right now. So, I mean, obviously that's going to create a certain level of fear, right? Yeah, I think the worst part is like owing buddies cash. Like, I hate that. Like, I only owe a buddy like $200, but that sucks. And then I think like the lack of infrastructure in my own life, like around, like it's like, Sam, you did this to yourself though. And I'm like, I did this, and I know I did this because it's the right move in the long term. I did not like where I was working at all. And this has been way better for me to experience life again without the, like some of that. I don't know. Anyway. And I think I kind of just really wanted to make today's video less about like, here, let me close this. I don't really like having to bother other people with like this kind of stuff, even though I'm sure they can't hear me. Oh, Cosmo's FaceTiming me. Should I record the FaceTime? No. Anyway, sorry. So, I think, the greatest gift that I have been able to, I'll back up. So, I think a long time I neglected, not friendships, but I neglected myself. And feels, here, I can end that. One sec. I gotta answer this phone call. Sorry about that. Anyway, what was I fucking talking about? Anyway, so let's see. I owe money on my car. I have like a bunch of speedy loans that I took out, kind of cover my ass for the last like 2 weeks. Rent is due in 3 days. No source of income. Owe a buddy $200. And I couldn't care less. You know what I mean? Couldn't care less. And the reason I couldn't care less is because who I am right now is a version of me that I haven't experienced in a very long time. And the point of that, like the reason I'm saying that is like I'm not all the way up there, if that makes sense. Like I'm not, but I just feel like good about what I'm doing. I know that this is the right path, bro. I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, is helping through videos. Like I know that that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to keep doing that. And I can't chase money anymore. I can't and it's also a weird spot because like I have a job offer kind of starting either like end of June or early July. So it's like I just have to get to there, and maybe I like pick up some odd jobs or something. I could sell my guitars. Like, I don't know. I don't really want to do that, but it's like, you can't even be, like, what are we talking about? It's like, if that's a sacrifice I have to make in the short term, I think that feels fine. It just feels fine. But I think, this is going to be more of a journal entry, and hopefully I can find my way back to something that can be a little more helpful, but like the reflection of a reality that's growing for me keeps showing up in little ways. Like today, like I was just with a buddy who's going through it, and he goes, "Hey, Sam, like I don't have anyone else to talk to. Like I know I needed to talk to you." And I was like, dude, then I can die. You know what I mean? Like then I can die peacefully and happily, knowing that I can be there for my friends and hold space for them. Then it's all been worth it. even the fear of the world, and like it just means that I'm doing my part to some extent, and that counteracts all of the fears that I have, right? And like it's fine, like I don't have a plan in place, you know. I'm tired of plans don't work, and maybe I need to think more about how to make money in the short term, but I know I'm capable of doing that. So I think that there's probably an offer going to come through, or God's going to give me a blessing or something for me to do and be exactly who I need to do and be. Yeah, maybe a shorter video today. I don't really feel like being super verbose. You know, and there were a couple things that came up yesterday. What was I? Yeah, you know, it's all just kind of the same stuff, like the lies created in my mind. And I think one of them is that I will be unsuccess. If I don't work hard, then I will be unsuccessful. But as mentioned before, if I don't work hard, then I can't be abundant. And as we've mentioned, you know, it's like a very old way of viewing life, one that doesn't really fit anymore for a lot of reasons. And it's cool to be a part of this shift that's occurring on this planet, and like I don't have to be. Well, I guess, you know, one thing that came up is, you know, when I was leaving my last job is, you know, my boss goes, yeah, I think you're making a huge mistake. And I went, maybe, man, but I know that this doesn't feel right. And I think as human beings, we've lost that, right? Like you look anywhere and it's like they're like pornography and gambling. It's all you see. And so to be outside of that system, even for a brief set of time, like a brief moment in time, because I don't know. I'm like, I made a video the other day. I don't know. You don't know. We got to stop pretending like we know what this is going to look like. It's going to be different. We're literally living out Revelations. I don't even need to get into that. Go read the book of Enoch. Go read the book of Revelations and tell me that everything you see isn't lining up. And everybody's noticing it, man. And so to think that I'd want to be involved in a society and a system in which that is more important than that, it's like, sure, yeah, you need money. It's like, no. No. Money is a reflection of the currency of love and self, bro, is what it's going to turn into. And I'm just on the forefront of it. And I know God is about to give me that blessing. I know He is, because He can see the change and the growth and the passion and the fun and the light and the stupidness, but the free-spiritedness that I engage with in the world has taken such a long time. That's what we can talk about today. How do we form the confidence needed to approach the world in an authentic way? One is just by living, naturally progressing and experiencing enough stuff, you'll kind of build that buffer. But another one is by doing shit that scares you. You know, and when I was younger, you know, and wow, after PJ died, I was less, and maybe it's a great blessing. It's awful that that's how it came about, but I wasn't afraid of what anybody was going to fit because I wanted to live the experiences. I remember there was this moment where there was this girl, like, I think I said, like, every time I asked a girl out, you know, it was always like a big thing in middle school. I don't know why, but like people were always like, oh, and it's funny because like it turned out being like, dude, I got to date some of the like coolest people ever because I got over that fear and formed relationships with these people that I'll hopefully have the rest of my life. But you know, you got to do shit that scares you, man. And it's like, okay, how do we build that up? You know, it's like, I think one piece of this whole kind of prognosis, like the reason that guys aren't asking girls out is because why would you? There's no upside in today's day and age. You know what I mean? Like I like approaching girls. I like cold approaching. I like going up and I like giving compliments. But just like, I think everybody makes everything up to be so big. I'm doing it right now. I'm like, oh, if I don't do this, it's like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. We're all going to be dead anyway. So, you know, one way to start building up like real confidence in the world, I said, is by giving compliments, man. And not just like bullshit compliments. Oh, I like your shoes. That's from you. You liking something is different than it objectively being beautiful. So like that's a big one I do. I go, yo, what's up, man? You have incredible energy. Man, hey man, I don't want nothing from you. I just thought that I'd say, keep it up. You don't even have to know the fucking guy. You see some girl and she looks great. Just be like, hey, girly, I don't, or whatever. Hey, dude. I always say dude because it's just like easier. Hey, dude, I don't want nothing from you. I just thought you look absolutely great today. Have an awesome day. And even that's not, you look beautiful today. Have a great day. Like, you know what I mean? And then when you do that enough times, right? Because I'm a very introverted extrovert, dude. I would hermit my life. I would do this and hermit and smoke my weed and play my guitar and not engage with the world every day. It would be so beautiful. But through time, we have to learn how to operate in these systems if we want our vision for the world to unfold, you know? And again, it's like the mind's going to tell you a story, right? Like, let's say you go up to that chick and you get rejected or whatever. You want to ask her out. It's like, first of all, just ask her out, dude. If my frumpy, ugly looking ass can fucking ask a chick out, you guys can too. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a big deal. And girls, on the flip side of that, it's like you don't have to be rude. You can just be like, no, thank you. And thank you for the compliment. Have a great rest of your day. And the guy can go, okay, cool, thanks. See you in the future, maybe. Or not. See you never. And we can move on, bro. But that's a great place to start, is like giving compliments. Doing shit that scares you, right? Like my frontal lobe is now developed, so I don't have to throw the double backflip off of the fucking cliff. But I have buddies that do. You know what I mean? For that same reason, like, I'm terrified of that. I'm like, I'm going to hurt myself. I can't afford a concussion because I actually will just die. I smacked my head on like a barbell and I was out for like a week, bro. Like, I'm not good. I can't risk that, but who is calling me again? So by doing hard things, we create a buffer, and again, we create confidence. But it doesn't even have to be hard, man, because I know what it's like to like struggle to get out of bed. Man, good luck trying to fucking cure existential dread when good luck trying to fucking engage with the world when you're trying to cure existential dread. And, you know, I'm watching it play out in my family. I made a video yesterday about, like, destroying these generational lines of trauma. And it's proven to be, it's a cool spot. It's also a really scary spot when you have all this power and you've been using it for such wrong reasons for so long, because out of pure necessity of survival, you know? And again, like, still being like young in earth years, right? Like, I'm an old soul. This is not my first incarnation. This is not the first time I've been asked and asked God to come back during a time like this. This is not the first time. And it is my first time being 25, turning 26. You know what I mean? In this life. And so I think there's a piece of that like, I wish people just had more grace. You know, but it's hard to find grace when everybody from the top down is running around so scared all the time, man. Everybody. It's like, oh, I wish my landlord would be nicer to me. It's like, yeah, but the landlord has bills he has to pay. You know what I mean? So, like, collectively, I think the revolution is not going to be televised because most people aren't going to be able to find time to televise it. You know, and outside of that, it's like this revolution is such an internal one. You know what I mean? Because you can't change the world, but you can definitely change yourself in the way you view things. And, you know, pray and just like give love. Like, dude, I just pray for the people in the Middle East. And I pray for those children, you know, who have no birth certificate and are being trafficked. And I don't know how to help, but I do know that if I can continue to get other people to inspire and engage in life in a very authentic, transparent, and raw way, you know, like, I don't know what else I can be more honest about my current existence. I have no money. I definitely struggle with lust. I definitely struggle with envy. I definitely struggle with anger, you know, wrath. I definitely struggle with all these things. I struggle with my ego. I have a very odd ego. I have a very humble piece of myself, but there's also parts of myself that are very like spitefully egotistical, right? Spitefully megalomaniac. I don't know. And it's not, I think, and, you know, the root of that is because, you know, as you build up these things, it's like cockiness and confidence go really hand in hand, because I have lived a really crazy life. I've done really cool shit. I've also done some not so cool shit. But on the flip side of that, it's like that's really what this is all about, man. And I just keep saying it because I think it's more, it helps me remember. Like days like today where my buddy calls me and I just honestly am capable of engaging with it. It's not even advice. It's just like, yo, dude, this is what I'm hearing, what's going on. And as your friend, here's how I think you are able to handle this. And, if I can offer advice, this is how I do it from my experiences. But that's really just it. And whether or not I fall back into sin isn't the point because I'm a sinner. But I think, really becoming aware of it and desiring a life of beauty, and again, like I know that we win. I know that. I know that. I know we win. I know we get to experience this planet in full unity. And I know we're going to, and it might not be I think it is going to be in the next like 5 years, which is cool. Because we're going to see it all kind of start to fall away. But yeah, I don't even really know what I'm talking about today. I think I'm just using this more as a journal. I'm going to call my mom in a little bit. I'm going to go back out to the golf course again because that's been really, really good for me. But yeah, there's a lot of fear there. You know what I mean? Fear of abandonment, fear of ostracization, fear of neglect, fear of proving the people that didn't believe in me right. And fear of proving the people that did believe in me wrong. And then, I have these conversations with like this kid Kellen, and he's just like, dude, I fucking believe in you. I don't even know you. And I'm like, thank you, man. You know what I mean? Like that's the world, bro. It means that I'm doing the right shit for others and for myself. And that, again, transcends anything. But it's like, also people don't know. You know what I mean? Like everything that you're afraid of is made up. Like people think they know what's going on in your head and in your world. They don't know. They don't know what it's like they don't know how dark it gets, bro. Nobody knows how dark that shit gets. All the time. Like that little rain, I call it the little rain cloud. That little rain cloud doesn't go anywhere. It just sits there. You know what I mean? And there's so many times I wish I had tapped out, but it means that the mission hasn't been completed. And right now it's like all of us are being asked collectively, can you do things differently than you have? Can you engage with your life in a different way than you have? And this isn't for the mom who's working 6 jobs to pay for it. Well, actually, it kind of is, because working harder doesn't always get you what you want. Andrew Tate's not, I don't think he's like the guy. I'm just using him as a staple because he's the guy who's like clearly working harder doesn't get you what you want. And I he was broke when he was my age too. So it's like, okay, cool. Like, there's something to be said. And I don't want to use that guy's name too much because I do know that dude probably does have a cool ass relationship with God. But I also know that, like, man, if I had somebody when I was 18 do this kind of shit and just be like, yo, you don't have to engage in the world in that way. You know what I mean? You don't have to listen to what society tells you. You don't have to take that tab of acid, man. You don't have to have that beer. You don't have to chase those chicks. You don't have to feel so alone and scared all the time. And the way to turn towards that is Christ. Man, I would have heard him out. I remember back at Colorado State, kind of around the time that I was losing my shit, which, by the way, I can't describe to you the interconnectedness I felt back then. But I remember I was going through it, and like this person's trying to kill me, this you what, like, and that's when I really found out what the system was and kind of started understanding the pharmaceutical space and like the Oxycontin and all that shit and how it was all built for you to fail, to keep you trapped. And I was walking. It was a beautiful sunny day in Fort Collins, over by the quad, not like right by the quad, but there were those big open fields. And I was walking by and I had my hoodie on, my glasses on, and I had like fucking Suicide Boys or something going in my headphones. And some guy just stopped me. He goes, "Hey man, God's trying to talk to you. Take your hood off." So I took my hood off. He ripped my glasses off and just swung my shoulders, and it was the sun, and it was this beautiful, gorgeous day of like people were playing and everyone was laughing, and it was like thousands of people, and like, and then he's like, "God's trying to talk to you, man. You just got to let him in." And so in any moment we can choose what we're going to tune into, right? Now, if in any moment, and that's why it is a choice. because nobody can make that choice except for you. That's that free will piece that I keep talking about. But it's okay not to make the choice also. Like, I can have compassion and empathy and sympathy to people who can't make that choice and don't see a way out. And that's why I hate when people say that suicide is selfish, because you don't know what that looks like. When you can't see a way out, and you're going to call that selfish? Sure, it affects more people than that person might think, but at that time, you don't view that. There's no way out. And, you know, God can't be there for everything. I know he is, but he can't just like that dude's bouncing a lot, man. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to be honest about where I'm at today, and I don't think I'm going to clip this video. I just figured out a way that I can kind of broad mass this onto TikTok and stuff. So I'm going to spend another hour or so doing that, then get back out to the golf course. But at least I think that's probably the right move. And I don't know, I can go play cards. I don't really want to do that. It's kind of fun when there's nothing to do. I could just go play I might go sit by the river. Anyway, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to be honest and kind of just like share some more stuff. I think reading is great. Pick up an instrument, you know, like ask the girl out, dude. Ask the girl out. She might say yes, and you can be honest. Like, just be honest, bro. If anything you take from my fucking life is anything, just be honest. And tell that girl that. Tell that person that. Be like, look, I am like not sure what's going on here. I think you are absolutely amazing. Is there any way that we could go get a coffee sometime? Or anything like that. It doesn't even have to be romantic. I just like your energy. I like being around you. You know, and then you have to be humble enough if that person says, you know, sure, but also like, I'm interested in somebody else. It's like, okay, cool. Maybe we can explore that together. You know what I mean? And like, that is like the gift of like being friends with somebody, you know, or not. I'm also a lustful piece of shit. So it's kind of like, I'm a sinner. I'm a sinner of a sinner of the sinners. Again, dude, I'm the biggest sinner. And I still got to cling to this hope and this idea that everything can change in a really short amount of time, and it's going to, and God's got it. And after that, I can get out of my own way. So kind of a weird journal entry today. Sorry, today I'm not really firing on all cylinders. Kind of just have some heady shit going on with like how I'm actually going to like afford to live. But God will figure that out for me too. Same way he's figured out everything along the way. So I love you. Just keep showing up for yourself. Keep believing in yourself. Keep believing in God. And things will get better. I don't know how. Keep praying for others. I'm praying for my friends. I'm praying for some buddies. Praying for a lot of people suffering in the world right now. So I love you. Have a great day.